Dare I say I'm with superstar receiver Eugene Lewis, now with the Ottawa Redblacks. Man, can you believe you created all this?
Hey, man, you can't hide if you was born to be noticed.
Ooh, I like it. Man, not only is he talented on the field, you're catching me off guard. I could be on my toes for this interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so many different ways we could go, but I want to give you a chance to sort of counter back what Ed Hervey said about there not being any superstars
Yeah.
in the CFL and what happened there in terms of you potentially re-signing in Edmonton and then ending up in Ottawa.
Yeah, man. So, basically, ultimately what happened was that, he had different plans, for his team and things like that. But I never talked to Ed. I never had any conversations with him. He talked to my agent probably once or two times, seen her once at the coaches convention and stuff like that. So it was just like, I was just waiting on. Obviously, I know that he didn't want to give me the money that I got before, which is fine. But at the same time, tell me what you're willing. Then tell me where you're at. Like, because at that point in time, then we can just make everything a lot easier. Like, okay, I'm not going for that, or it don't have to be disrespectful. It don't have to be this and that. It just can be a real conversation. And, that's I stand on those morals and I stand on those principles. And like I said, at the end of the day, he can do whatever he wants. He's a GM. He can go about it however he wants. But it's just I feel as though with certain people and certain players, like I said before, it's going to cause a different effect. Part of the reason why this conversation has been going is because it's about me. If we were talking about a player that just got into the league, he would literally tell them, "You don't have the credentials to talk to me or say anything because you're your first year." But because it's going back and forth and because it's, this and that and people picking sides, it just shows that I have some impact on this game and I have some impact on, the fans and the people. So, but like, I'm at this point in time, I'm glad that, the decision was made that, I moved on and he's moved on and I'm in Ottawa now, man. I'm excited. I'm happy right now. I just got back from Africa. I train in Florida each and every week. And you got to understand too, even in the CFL, like all of us players, we're still top 1% of professional football. So that you can't degrade us and try to tell us that, oh, we're this, because listen, whether it's an all-star, a superstar, a potential star, it's hard to even get those titles as a player, and how many players are in this league. So, okay, if I'm not a superstar, I'm an all-star 3 4 times now, right? Okay, I'm on the verge of breaking CFL wide receiver records, right? I had the most touchdowns in the league last year, and that's counting the second down quarterbacks that do
The sneaks.
the sneaks and all that. You know how hard that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, my play, the games in the games, like the plays I make, like I don't really like to talk about too much. I just let my game, show what I do, and then if we want to have conversations and we want to talk about it, it's all good. But at the end of the day, nothing's going to matter until we play those games, and when somebody's going to be wrong and somebody's going to be right. As simple as that.
There's some people that I've talked to around the league in personnel positions that will say, well, what defines a superstar general manager?
Yeah, 100%. That is my point. Uh, what makes a general manager a guy where he every year in and out he's getting the right personnel, he's making the right, and they're consistently going to the Grey Cups. This year, if not, they miss one year, they go the year after that. You got to be consistent. So it's like, if you have a record of 44-35, is that a superstar GM record? So it's like, it's not about being a superstar. Listen, you got to be grateful that you're a GM. Like GMs got to be happy that we're GMs because that's the 1% of GMs in professional footballs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, you gotta know yourself, man, and you got to know your role, man, and you just have to know what you bring to the table. And I've always had really, really good relationships. I have good reputations no matter where I've been. And it's hard to, you know, bring somebody down when I got so much support. You know what I mean? So when it comes to just like I said, like there's a lot of I'm not gonna say there's a lot of superstars, but there's stars. Yes, it's levels to this. It's always levels. It's levels to every position. Everybody's going to compare this with money. When it comes to money, when people see a certain amount of money, they're going to look at you a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, just don't. You can't say that there's not superstars in this league. Maybe if it's a couple, it's a couple. But there's stars in this league. There's all stars in this league. If the MOP, that's not a superstar in this league specifically. I'm not talking about Michael Jordan or Muhammad Ali. That's global. Once they're gone, once they're, you know what I'm saying? Like that's completely different because there's nobody in basketball and anywhere else in the world that is better than Michael Jordan. So that's my whole point.
Totally agree. Last one pertaining to Edmonton. If a contract similar to the one that you signed in Ottawa was offered, would you have entertained that? Because it seems like what Ed Hervey said doesn't necessarily bother you because you look at it as a business.
100%. You got to understand, like, it's all about the principle. If depending on how we had the conversation and how they felt that they valued me and the things that they wanted to do with me and things like that, that's what it all comes down to. Like it's not all about the money. Like I made really good money the last 2 years in Edmonton. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, obviously I want to keep getting money that I deserve and that I've earned and that I work for and that my game shows for. But you gotta know it's a business too. So yeah, sometimes you may come down, sometimes it may be you might go up and this and that. But it's about I got to be happy with myself and the decision that I make and the people that I'm around. And I want to know that the people that I'm around trust me, believe in me, and when it comes down to big games and it comes down to clutch moments, they're gonna trust in me every time. And that's what I want. I want somebody that always is gonna believe in me and as a coach be like, Gene, no matter what, bro, I'm going with you, man. And that's how you excel to be the best that you can possibly be as a player because somebody believes that you can.
I know the Calgary Stampeders had a bigger offer on the table to you than what you took in Ottawa. What other teams were legitimately in the mix?
I would definitely say Hamilton was in the mix too. It just was about they kind of were going for it in the big fish in that sense. So and they took Kenny and like I said before, I am grateful for all any receiver that gets paid because it helps us. And me and Kenny, like the good thing about me and him, we've been talking even like the last couple of years, like just about how to keep the receiver thing going, man. Like how to make sure that we help the young dudes come up. We want them to get money too. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing is like in this league, like if once I know I play receiver, when I retire and things like that, or I'm trying to help the next generation, I want them to get more than I did. I want them to beat my records. I want them to get more money than I did. I want them to go out there and beat my yards. Like, obviously, I want them to do it because they did it the right way and they did it because they really worked hard and they're not cheating the game. But it's like, that's the whole goal is to try to make that next generation better because they're going to appreciate that and always remember that, yeah, he didn't try to hold me back. He wasn't hating on me. He wasn't looking at me because he was so prideful that he didn't want me to beat his records or he not looking at me because he never got that type of money or he never did this in the league. And now it's like I would never hate on somebody or try to hold somebody back because of my own pride. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I look at it.
So you mentioned Hamilton. Did Winnipeg check in with you after losing Kenny Lawler?
Yeah, Winnipeg, they came in a little bit because they start having a whole bunch of developments as you've seen with them. And then Sass came in for a second. I was talking to Trevor for like a little bit, but they kind of had their little situation all good together. But it kind of came down to the point where if I could make it work with Ottawa, that's what I wanted to do. I knew that was also going to be a best place for me to be close to my mother. She's 5.5 hours now. She just got her passport. So, she's going to be able to bring some of my nieces and my nephews up. And I think that was another big thing for me. Like, that I'm grateful for that. They'll be able to see me play knowing where I'm at in my career now. And I mean, that means the world to me. That's big. That's bigger than any money.
You can't beat family, man.
100%.
For them to be able to see you play is more than any money that you could get. You got a couple of Montreal Alouettes receivers out here, Austin Mack, Tyson Philpott, saying that there's going to be 4 of them that go for 1,000 yards. I like that Ottawa Redblacks receiving core, and you might be able to make the best argument that it's the best in the league, man. I don't want to forget guys, but like Geno Lewis, Justin Hardy, you got the Pimple. I hate that nickname for him.
KP.
We got to come up with something better.
Yeah,
KP sounds better.
We go KP.
That could go for 1,000. Do you guys feel like you have that potential?
Yeah, we got Addison, man. Like we got we got so many great receivers, and we got smart vet receivers too that can help these young guys excel to the next level. Like you got to understand. Like I know, like especially like I used to watch Hardy, like when he was at ECU and he was breaking the records for NCAA, the NCAA records for like receptions and all that. And like I know how good he is too. Like I've been seeing that, and I just appreciate. Honestly, what I appreciate is that especially like Berkey, man. He looks at it like he did an interview last year, and they asked him about Hardy, and they were like, he's turning 33 and things like that. How do you feel about that? And he said, do he look 33? Does he look like he's playing like he's 33? And I love that. That's the type of people you want to play for, because it's not about that age. It's about what do you do? What are you doing now? Because like I said before, I'm about to turn 32 in about a week or two, and I don't look like I'm playing like I'm 32. I got doctors. They say like, man, you look like in your body is like you're 28. That's what I like to hear, and I play like that too. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta live in it. You gotta live it up here, but you also gotta walk it when you get down on that field, man.
How much did Sean Burke's professional approach attract you to Ottawa?
Well, he been like that with me for a couple of years, even in 2022 when I was coming out. Like the difference with him was they had offered a offensive lineman. They paid him a pretty big deal back then. And
Drew Days, Charlotte.
yes, exactly. And mind you, when they did that, once I had talked to Berkey, because at that point in time too, I did want to go over there a little bit too at the time. And like he said, listen, Gene, I'm not going to offer you this low ball because we really do want you, but you just got the MOP of the East. I can't even offer you that right now. But maybe in the future, and that's I respect that. He tell me straight up, so now I don't have to keep thinking like, is there a chance? Is there a chance? He's going a different direction. He knows his way, and that's why I say you never know when it'll come back around. You never know when those relationships and those conversations that you have with people come back around, and you be like, you know what? I appreciate how you did me in the beginning. So now let's make something happen. Now I'm willing to take a pay cut for you because of how you dealt with me before. You know what I'm saying? It's all about those relationships, and you don't want to burn bridges, man, to the point where there's nowhere for you to go and you just stuck on an island.
Simple communication.
That's it.
Made it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Do you have week 5 in the CFL schedule circled?
100%. 100%. I can't wait. And that because listen, a lot of people are gonna be waiting for it. There's so much talking that has been through it now. It's like you can't deny it. So it's like yes, I can't wait for that game. Obviously, we're gonna take it one game at a time. But yes, when that game comes around, I'm gonna feel a little more hype, and hope they don't let me score.
For the people that don't know, that's when Ottawa travels to Edmonton. The Geno Lewis return game. You can dub it a bunch of different things, but what really jumps out to me the most about the whole situation is that you're unaffected by it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it comes to a point in time where you got to be unbothered sometimes about certain things because if I let that bother me and then I go into the game and I do bad, people are going to say, "Oh, it's because of that, Gene. You were not focused and you were worried about." Not, listen, what I'm worried about is when Pickett come to me and say, "Gene, we starting this party right now here. This is where the party's starting right here, right now." You telling me this is where the party started? When did the pregame start? Because that's where I want to start it at. So we going pregame, postgame, middle game, end of the game, any time of the game. We gonna do what we got to do, and that's how I'm looking at it.
Who do you view as the team to beat in the East to get through to the Grey Cup?
I mean, obviously, I feel like us, but just being the most professional and realistic about it. You have to give credit to Toronto because they have done what they were supposed to do the last couple of years. You know what I mean? They won the East, and they won the Grey Cup, and that's until somebody dethrones them. They're the team to go through. But I'm so confident in the group that we have in Ottawa that like I'm ready to go out there. We got to go through training camp, gel together, get on the same page, and I'm excited. Once we get there, it's going to be the sky's the limit. It's going to be unbelievable, and I'm just going to be so excited for just the guy helping the young guys, helping the new guys, and just winning. The winning just makes everything feel so good, and that's what I'm ready to get back to.
You've played in both divisions, the East and the West, and it used to be that the West beat up on the East, but it's kind of swung the other way now. So it might be difficult to answer this question, but what's the more competitive division?
Well, if it's on paper right now, on paper is the East. One of the main reasons also I went out to the West when I went to Edmonton is because I wanted to have 1,000 yards in the East and the West on different teams. So it was like because you would always hear them. Oh, gee, when you come out West, you got to go against this team every week in the West, and it's harder. And I'm like, I hear you, but I'm still going to do what I do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just glad to be able to, go out there, get another All-Star in the West, man, and help my team the best way that I can. But on paper right now, man, the East is built up. Hamilton got a squad, Toronto got a squad. we got a squad. Montreal got a squad, and it's gonna be crawling and scratching probably to the end. You know what I'm saying? Unless you get like a super head start in the beginning, but this is how you want it though. You want to go against the best teams. The best teams is in the division. The best players are in the divisions, and that's who you want to go up against. You want to always go up against the best because that's when you know where you are.
Have you been able to throw with Drew Brown at all yet?
Not yet. I have not been able to throw with him yet. I know he's actually in the process of right now. He's about to have another baby. So man, hey Drew, whenever you have your baby, man, beautiful health and wealth to your wife, to your kids, man. That's exciting, man. I'm happy for you, and we got to win the Grey Cup for the baby, man. That's all I know. We got to get a Grey Cup baby for the win.